Hey, what's up? Welcome to the Writer's Block Party Podcast. I'm your host, R.C. Cepeda. We are a podcast about creators being creative. We come up with ideas for a movie, TV show, or product, and we get to invite you along for the journey and the process. In this week's episode, Martin Berishaj swings by the studio to help create a thought-provoking thriller that is sure to get under your skin. Welcome to another episode of Writer's Block Party. I'm your host, R.C. Cepeda. This is our co-host,
Ollie Nakri, that's me. Hey.
And our guest, Martin Berishaj. Welcome.
Thank you very much, sir.
But before we get into anything, I definitely want to show some love to our sponsor, Sunday Scaries. If you go to sundayscaries.com, you'll see some more information. They are gummies for anxiety. Pretty amazing.
Who doesn't have anxiety?
Exactly. But they're the remedy that makes anxiety not so scary. They are non-habit-forming CBD gummies, no THC. Cool thing is, you can go to sundayscaries.com right this second and input the promo code WBP10 for 10% off.
You can go later, too.
It's open?
You don't have to go right now. You
The
can
website's open? 24/7?
Yep, 24/7.
Wow.
It's 24/7. It's the internet.
Actually, they're only open Monday through Friday. They have regular 9 to 5 hours. Yeah.
Jewish holidays
that,
only.
yeah, of
They're
course.
closed Jewish holidays like B&H.
Yeah. They're like Chick-fil-A on Sundays.
Yeah, well, B&H is like, yeah, we're just going to stick with that.
Yeah, you guys, I'm sorry. It's,
Mazel tov.
we're Jewish. Order a day before or a day after. But,
So, Writer's Block Party, welcome.
thank you very much.
Just
Very
give you,
glad to be here.
give you a little rundown of how it's going to go. Is you'll choose a platform, whether it's a movie, TV show, or a product, which could be a book or a video game, whatever. After that, you will choose a title that I'll give you,
Okay.
and we kind of create this concept from there.
Okay.
No holds barred, anything goes. Funny, sad.
We didn't do it like an NDA or anything. Like, do I own what I'm saying, or are you gonna steal it?
I think the internet owns it. I don't know how this works. I'm not sure. We haven't really like.
I'm saying it now.
We're saying
if I come up with what I come up with,
if we develop
If I
it,
do.
you're involved. If we
and I don't
develop
get a
it, you're
piece.
involved.
Not
Yeah.
really, just a piece.
You're part of it. You're part
Not
of it.
all of it.
We'll put
Part
your
of
name.
it.
We'll put your name on the credit.
No, yeah, for sure. Okay,
You'll get
that's
a-
all I need. That's all I'm asking for.
You get a
Honorable
associate
mention?
producer.
Can I work background on the job?
Yeah. Background.
I want to get some golden
But
time.
like deep.
No, I don't want to be seen. I'm not one of those guys.
Way back.
Oh, I can't wait to be
Deep.
seen in my background shit. No, I want to work.
All right. Movie, TV show, product. What do you think?
Let's keep it
What you
movies,
think?
baby.
Movie? All right. Movies are good.
Love it.
Movies are great. So let's go through some titles.
Okay.
Let's see. 10 and 2. Just like 10 and 2.
10 and 2? Okay. I'm sure to keep my hands there until...
You can, yeah. Until throughout the whole session, you have to do it.
Yeah, okay.
If you choose that one. Tell My Mother I Love Her. Or Hell and Kill Her. If you say it fast.
Nice.
Hell and Kill Her.
Nice. I like 10 and 2. I like the idea of balance. Yeah, I'm going with 10 and 2. This is just a title. What it
Well,
just a
I
title
mean,
and
it could be a title. It could be a jumping off point.
Yeah.
Okay, no.
Maybe it's just a jumping off
starting.
point.
No,
Yeah.
10 and 2 was very strong. It struck me as soon as I heard it.
All right. That's exactly what it's about. So 10 and 2. Let's see what we can come up with.
Okay.
My initial. I'll give you my initial.
What's the
thought.
first thing that
Your
comes
thought.
to your head?
First thing that comes to my mind is obviously, I like to get deeper with my ideas of story. So balance comes to the idea of right and wrong comes to me. Driving, obviously, but that's the first brain. The idea of balance, the idea of right and wrong, the idea of like what you've been told, you should keep your hands at 10 and 2, and blah, blah. And when you move past 10 and the idea of 10 and 2, it's a base level of understanding how to drive, if you would. When you move past 10 and 2, you realize that 10 and 2 is just, well, they told me that so that I could be safe and I could be so-and-so. But what is really safe and what is so-and-so? So I like the idea of the existentialism of 10 and 2, yeah.
So then it goes to 12 and 6.
It was a 12-6. It's a wrist on 6, baby.
Or
if you're in the
three,
ghetto,
yeah.
if you're in the ghetto, it's
Chillin'.
wrist on 6. Chill.
Or like when you have like a Honda, you put your hand right in the middle.
No, you
Because they have
grab
that,
it.
Oh, yeah, the
that
little-
center
the
thing. You
little
just grab the
bump.
middle and you just put your hand. Drive like
If
this.
you have if it's a 4-spoke, you put your
Yeah,
hands like
like
right.
this, you drive like
You
an
hold it,
which
Maybe
is
you
so
have those-
dangerous.
What is
So
that?
dangerous. That's so dangerous.
if you have the
What
paddles?
If you have the
What if
paddle
you get
shifting, or,
stuck?
or you just need your thumbs on. If you have
man.
after 07, usually cars have
That's getting a little.
I'm a driver
complicated.
actually. That's where I'm most comfortable.
I haven't owned a car in a few years, so I don't know. 10 and 2 is right here, right?
Well, we're gonna open you up now. We're gonna get back to what 10 and 2 meant.
Yeah,
Sponsored
let's
by-
bring it back to
We're gonna
basics.
destroy it,
So
and then we're
10
gonna
and 2.
own our own.
10 and 2 is so that your hands are at 10 o'clock.
I know.
Okay. I know you came up with the title.
I was like, I think
I don't know if you know what
That's
it
what
is.
you meant by 10 and 2, right? You meant like drive? Okay.
I thought you were just saying two numbers. It could have been 40 and 80.
Balance, right and wrong.
It's pretty good.
Safe to, so there's growth in that.
Mm-hmm.
So it can go back into, let's think of the basis, right? So if this is going to involve, say, a child that's going through all that, they start off at the 10 and 2, then they end up at whatever it is that they end up with.
Mm-hmm.
Or it could be about a pet.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, there's so many things that we can...
Yeah. I like to think about, whenever I'm thinking of a story, of like the marketing aspect is behind me, and I don't mean in the sense of like, just what we'll sell as a producer or something like that, but like what's relevant, what's the day, and I think that's like a spin-off of what people, acting teachers, will mean like work from a personal space. They also mean like, we're pop culture guys.
Yeah.
Obviously. Nice tattoo, by the way.
Thank you. It's bacon.
It's just fried bacon.
Bacon 4 ways.
Nice. So I like to just say the marketing aspect of something. I really don't like making things about a specific genre, but Ubers and Lyfts and so many of these things are like an interesting thing nowadays.
That's a good take. I like
What
that.
what about if we quite literally made it about driving, but not about driving? It's just it's the
About-
physical representation of the world around us. Because driving is such a great representation of the way people are, of
Yeah.
character. I've always felt like a car is this armor that allows a person to be exactly who the hell they want to be right now. Selfish, aware, not aware, aggressive, defensive, passive, blah blah, an asshole. So there's a nice little cheat in that understanding for myself of understanding, cars and so on, blah blah. But again, it shouldn't be about that. That should be in the back, it's subliminally
What
informing
if-
the audience what's going on.
To go with that, it's because I'm thinking, just hear me out. I'm thinking like documentary style of this one driver who drives for either Uber or Lyft and like all this kind of experiences. That could be the underlying tone, is like it's the different experiences that one driver goes through, and it could be as crazy as we want it to be or not.
Yeah.
That's a thought.
Thought?
To connect with.
What tone are we going for? What genre?
Yeah, I think this is, depending on what we go with here, is going to set the idea of, is this more comic-based or so and so. It's got to live inside of... I believe that telling a story is about learning a moral or learning something, coming away with something. It doesn't have to be specific so much more as it has to make you question something.
Yeah.
I'm totally fine with popcorn movies, but where we started was 10 and 2, this idea of being existential. This isn't a Fast and the Furious for the everyday man. 10 and 2.
Fast and Furious.
Fast and...
God, 10 and 2.
The title is 10 and 2.
Yeah, it's an action movie.
Between
With
10 and 2, this guy's lit. He's
10
lit.
and 2.
He's woke, but he's the right amount of lit.
But only between 10 a.m. to 2 p.m.
No.
Otherwise, he's a
like-
scumbag. He just stays home. Yeah, but 10 and 2, for some reason, he gets up. He's up.
Yeah.
Or he's only driving between 10 a.m. to 2 p.m. That could be it. Because Uber drivers choose whenever they want to drive.
Yes.
So what if he goes on like a killing rampage at that time, or like what if I don't know, like again, what genre do we want, right? Halloween's coming up.
I don't mind if it lives inside of, what was that Scarlett Johansson movie where she just picks up guys and she lures them into
Under Her Skin.
Under the Skin.
Yeah,
it's that, but for a guy.
the guy version.
But obviously, he wouldn't lure people into like a black lagoon.
That's kind of crazy, because the thought would be like, I'd be worried of the next time I get picked up by an Uber driver.
We're trying to like redo Uber here, get people scared.
Read Uber.
What if? Because 10 and 2, when the first thing I think of when I think 10 and 2 is like driver's ed. What if it's like a driver's ed teacher?
Okay.
That's very specific. That's
It's very specific.
And maybe like he's like his whole life has been like very. I gotta be like.
In an organized,
very
and
specific, organized way,
Mhm.
and maybe this is, or it doesn't even have to be a driver. But like, if we lose the driver's thing, if he just always had, that's the thing. Like he's always been like,
Careful.
life has been 10 and 2 for him, whoever the character is, and this story is him kind of breaking those bounds. Like the first thing he does is go from 10 and 2 to 3 and 9 or whatever, and then from there he takes all these other steps in his life to like become either a better or a worse person. It could be.
It just spins out of control, so he's no longer
it's either
in
good or
control.
bad. Yeah, we could.
I like that.
I like it because it's character-y.
Totally.
And I start by going towards
you have an
character
arc.
more than plot.
Yeah, you have an arc rather
an
than
arc,
like a
character.
plot, like what the movie is about.
The
It's more
plot
about
is
the character.
if it's Uber or if it's the driver, whatever, it's making
yeah.
money, which
Yeah.
is always loose,
Totally.
but it doesn't matter because we're going for something more
Yeah,
character.
totally. But if it's something about like him and his like goal to get from this very structured life to a more kind of like loose.
Does something happen to where that's what
Oh, what's the
spins his life
catalyst?
out of
Yeah,
control.
inciting incident,
Right.
like what happens exactly to you. If it's character driven, there usually isn't like such a big inciting incident. It's
Yeah.
just how they interact with unique characters that come in out of there.
Or something that just maybe just flips the switch, you know.
Something
maybe
that
he
attracted
realizes,
something they
wait,
didn't know.
like there's a whole other world outside of this 10 and 2,
Yeah.
and then he can go the complete opposite end, and then the 12 and 6 or 3 and 9.
I like the idea of a lonely character inside that. Obviously,
Yeah.
this is very heady, and anything that's character is usually very heady. And then you get bothered by exterior
Yeah.
influences. So like the tone of a Nightcrawler or the tone of
I'm thinking
Under the Skin.
Have you seen that one with can't think of the guy's name, but A Very Quiet Man, I think is what it is.
A Serious Man?
A Serious Man. Yeah, that's the one.
Yeah,
right?
yeah.
Yeah. Where like
Yeah, Coen Brothers, wasn't it?
yeah, actually, yeah, and then but like everything starts to tick,
Yes.
right? Like he's got that very OCD, and then like he just starts building up. Like that could be a good tone / Nightcrawler. Which
Yeah,
I
yeah,
like.
yeah. No, I like it.
This-
Did we answer that? Were we going for tone?
I think so. I think
If
it's
we
that.
agree
I
with
think
that,
it's
yeah.
that kind of like.
So we're
dark,
talking about a character driven and it lives inside of darkness because we're
a little
thinking
bit of
heady
dark.
and
Yeah,
whatnot.
yeah.
This guy's in his head. So what is his environment? That
'Cause that's the thing,
that
is
would
like-
we buy a guy being in his head all day
Yeah.
long. Or
Well, it's. I mean, it could be.
Is
I
it
like the
detached in
idea.
Los
I
Angeles,
like the
or-
idea of like maybe like during the day he is one thing. Maybe he could have both those jobs. Maybe he's driver's ed teacher during the day, or like he takes the people's tests and he's like fucking fed up with his job. And then at night or on on his off time, he's like Uber driving because gotta pay bills.
Yeah.
okay.
He's like, or he's murdering people. Whatever we want to do. It's like,
Well, he
But, like,
sees that
it's
the
like-
people he's teaching are not getting it, or they're just coming and going. If we're trying to like over exaggerate, which is what you want to do when you're doing a movie,
Yeah.
a driver's ed teacher or something that they're teaching people, but they're really just grinding it out to getting a paycheck. And maybe he wants to teach a little bit more, but the average person is just coming through here to get their shit and go.
Yeah.
Maybe he's not a driver. Maybe he's the guy that you have to go to at the Pep Boys down the street every so many months to get verified as an Uber driver.
Right.
Apparently, you have to go with your
That's-
car to like some
Really? I didn't
space
know that.
every
Yeah.
so many. They'll do it every so many weeks, and like you'll have 20 people in there, and he has to verify your car, and there's this and that, and so, and he has to check your tire pressure and your car and the insurance and blah blah. Maybe he's that guy, and he sees people squeaking by, and people are like so desperate. People are so desperate to be drivers, and they're bad drivers. He's a good driver.
Okay, okay.
He's trying to teach them
He's
to be
got
good
this
drivers.
educational aspect where he instantly knows like, wait, you're doing this wrong.
Yeah,
this
you're
wrong.
doing
Why are
so.
you fucking
Well,
driving?
he's talking to his
Yeah.
boss, and he's saying like, the car has scratches all over it, or it smells like shit inside, or who the hell knows. He has ideas of what is right and wrong based on 10 and 2, where he came from.
yeah. What he thinks is like the right way.
The right way to be.
Yeah. Or what his structured life has told him. And maybe it's like I mean, I don't know if it's like, if we want to go deeper, like where'd it come from? Is it like from his parents? Do we explore that? Do we go into like, where did this,
Those nuggets come through. Yeah, those nuggets come through. We have to think of those,
where did he get those? Like, I mean, obviously like, was it in his, schooling, or was it in his just upbringing? That
Those
kind
are
of
those
stuff?
really beautiful, hard things that come up with, like, what's a thing that just defines a character?
Yeah.
What's a thing that defines a character? So,
Yeah.
Let's try to
parents,
explore
of
that.
course, or environment. He lives in LA, but he is not from LA. He's from a place where you would buy that they're much
Is he in
more-
LA? Is that a
I'm
thing?
just throwing it out there. It's easy. It's in cheap to say LA's detached, so that's why he's alone in his head driving, like in Drive or whatever.
Well, to me, like New York has I just think cars and with New York.
It would be better because we would believe that, and
yeah.
characters would affect.
And
a
there's
lot
so
more.
much of that
Oh,
stress
man.
and tension, and you always feel like
No,
I'm
then
walking here.
you can make it a cab driver.
Yeah.
And then it's
Ooh,
like there's
yeah.
also that struggle right now of cab drivers
And Uber.
Yeah.
like
That's good.
Yeah.
dying. It's a
Sure,
dying,
sure. Taxi drivers
Breed.
are having some kind of animosity. Not
Some
having, they obviously hate
Yeah.
fucking.
Or
What
it's
if
just
he-
they're on the downswing.
What if he
like,
goes on an Uber rampage and kills all the Uber drivers?
That's what it's about. So we mentioned Nightcrawler, but there's a music video. Not a lot of people have seen. It's of Jake Gyllenhaal, and it's some kind of indie rock electronica band where the whole music video is a short film of Jake Gyllenhaal just killing hipsters. Have you seen this?
No.
It's
That's
insane.
actually really
He
cool.
works out and he's just angry at hipsters for some reason. You just see it's all it's all facial kind of acting. But he just randomly
cool.
kills hipsters.
Well, I mean, let's face it, hipsters. I mean, come on. Just kidding.
I mean,
hipsters must die.
hipsters must have.
No, yeah, that's
How do you feel about the cab driver? Or the driver's ed? Let's give him that. Let's define
Or
that
like
character.
define the job.
Yeah. I do like the idea of the night and day, right? Or like the,
Having
two
to.
jobs. Yeah.
Yes. The right and wrong. The
Yeah,
10
yeah.
to.
So obviously the right would be, the driver's ed is kind of cool, right? Because
He's teaching people.
He lives by a lot of discipline. You know, there's Kevin Smith had a nice beat in Clerks with the whole title dictates behavior, and that doesn't really exist too much anymore. I mean, we're in the, I don't mean to say it derogatory, but the millennial age where people, you go to fucking Target and nobody's wearing a Target shirt. They're just wearing different shades of red fucking shirt. You know, there's no, it's detached. Even though they're working at fucking Target, they still don't want to wear the same shirt. It doesn't make sense. It doesn't make sense to me because I come from that generation that's right in between, and I don't see anything wrong with title dictating behavior unless it's going to hurt you physically. Then say, yeah, go fuck yourself, boss. You're going to hurt me. I'm going to do what I want then. But I think it's a really interesting beat that, in all honesty, the only person I've ever seen touch it was Kevin Smith in Clerks. So
that's been a minute.
Yeah, it has been a minute. So the guy could have that still that same idea of title dictating behavior. So during the day, he has to be this. He has to shut his mouth. He can't kind of say what he wants, and in turn, he flips and goes, psychotic.
Yeah.
If we're talking about that killing hipsters thing. killing hipster Uber passengers. He can't stand the passenger when there's only one person, they get in the back seat.
Okay, so that's a tick.
I was. He doesn't murder them right away. He he takes notes and then he kills them later.
Fuck with them.
That's the scary part. Is like the Uber drivers have that information.
He murders them with the little fucking weird.
Where to pick him up?
Yeah,
he knows exactly where
he murders them with the little weird size fucking single serving water. Oh, would you like water? It's in the back. Or the weird fucking candy from.
Oh my god, that's scary. That is terrifying.
And somebody realizes that's something wrong with his bottle because the way he does it is he puts a pediatric needle.
Or no, maybe
on the top, so you don't know. But this one guy kind of grabs a heart because he's drunk. He's like, "Hey, there's something wrong with this fucking water. Shoot up."
Or we could do hey, he decides if he wants to kill him, he gives him a Tic Tac.
So Tic Tac. You see him at you see him at 9:45 p.m. The fucking glasses on, just lacing Tic Tacs.
Right?
The orange ones. The orange and the menthol ones. Because they taste the best.
I agree with you full.
But no, let me share a thing. This is the character kind of thing. This is the character kind of thing that might lend itself to how he's weird. I've only been in Uber 3 times my whole life. Over 5 years. In New York one time, which who gives a shit, and then twice over here. I don't have an account. I'm not a weirdo that does want an account. I'm a Californian. We drive where we go. We don't pay for it. It's usually people who move here or live in Hollywood that, I'm not going to own a car or Uber. I just stop drinking an hour before I'm going to leave. And I pound water and then I go home. So,
Papa Tic Tac, can you good?
Papa Tic Tac. So, Big Reds kill no matter what. So my cousin's like, no, leave your car here. I'll drive it to you because you're a little drunk. And I was. So I agreed with him. Let me call you an Uber. So with his account, he did it. And he wanted to be there so the guy wasn't off put. To say, who the fuck are you? It's supposed to be this guy. And, which my cousin...
They don't give a fuck.
He don't give a shit. But the guy actually appreciated it because when I got in, I instinctively got into the front seat. I just grabbed the front seat. And he goes, oh, thank God. He made it was a deal for him. Oh, thank God. I was like, oh, what's up? He's like, you sat in the front seat. You're not one of these people who want to sit in the back and make me feel like I'm serving them or whatever. I was like, get the fuck out of here. Do you feel like? He's like, yeah, I hate that shit. It'll be one person. They'll go sit in the back and it makes you... You don't know, and so there's that anxiety because these people don't live in title dictates behavior. You get into the back of a taxi, it's his business. This is what he does. He doesn't do anything else. He doesn't need money on the side. This is his fucking job. Most people in LA, again, since we're talking about LA, they're not a bartender. They're an actor, then the bartender second.
Yeah.
Even on the fucking day, even when they haven't worked in a long time, or they're not a writer. They're a writer first, and then a waiter second. Blah, blah. Uber drivers kind of have that thing. So this guy maybe has that tick as well, where you see it kind of bothers him. And the way it can come out is that one person that he connects with, the woman, if we want to bring the woman into it, or if we want to make it one of those movies, she comes in and he appreciates that formalness about her, or that specificity about her. It could be a little bit of Red Dragon, where it's a girl, but she's blind. She doesn't know. She can't see. Good. She can't see his weirdness.
What if she can't smell?
That's weird. No.
What if she can't read a clock? Because
did you say can't read a clock?
10 and 2.
Is there a part of the world? Is there a part of the world where people don't believe in time?
So she can't read a clock.
She's from Helsinki. They don't believe in time.
They don't believe in time. No, isn't it like
it's a construct?
Isn't it Arizona or New Mexico that doesn't believe in time?
Yeah, because they don't flip over.
They're just like
sometimes they.
It stays the same all the time. Whatever. Fuck you. We're not changing.
There is some truth to that, though. I love the fact that you had that was a real conversation you had with him.
Yeah.
Because I I wouldn't have thought that, right?
Like, have you used Ubers before?
I have plenty of times, and I am the asshole that goes in the back.
Well, but yeah, I feel like
because I'm paying Uber X price. Fuck like shit.
Serve me, motherfucker.
$3 or $12.
I want to see the back of your fucking head. I don't want to see your eyes and fucking.
And to give me some credit, if I just worked a 12-hour fucking shift serving everyone in the fucking mom,
I don't want to talk to anybody.
Like, yeah,
I want to sit in the front and talk to people. I want to sit in the back and just.
But I mean, I had a real thing. This was a real. This was bullshit. You could tell that this bothers the guy.
But also, that was a long time ago, right?
No, this was about 6 months ago.
Oh, shit.
It was about 6 months ago.
I was going to say, like, maybe when it first started.
No, dude, we're deep into it. We're deep into it, and he picked me up at the Dream Hotel down the street, right?
Right.
So, I mean, you're picking people up over here, you know you're going to have, like, not the generalized.
Snooty kind of.
You're going to have weirdos, you're picking me up at 2 o'clock in the morning, blah, blah, like, sweetheart, if you get anxiety about people sitting in the back, well, you're in the wrong business. Maybe you should try, if you do have anxiety, maybe you should try.
Oh, yeah.
Maybe you should try Sunday Scaries for anxiety for driving Uber.
This whole thing has just been a...
That's how we come around.
This is one
this
long
whole
commercial,
thing is about selling anxiety pills. CBD anxiety.
You should buy them.
SundayScaries.com. Promo code WBP10.
Pop one before you turn on the Uber app.
But there's so much truth to that, though, because I'm realizing this is, even at work, I hear Uber, that word Uber, come on a lot, right? I've had a lot of...
I say Lyft, I don't say Uber.
A lot of Lyftsters. A lot of some staff are like, they're always like, oh, this fucking Uber drive, or this and that. Either talking about their trip or the driver, and I'm sure it goes both ways, right? Like, so now we're hearing the side of the Uber driver. So this is a very topical...
Yeah. No, it's topical. And if we do the cab driver thing,
going back to the marketing aspect of it, of like, this is what people do.
Yeah.
You know, like,
or maybe
in LA particularly, 9 out of 10
he was a taxi driver and he had to like become an Uber driver, and it's like
because
that's what it is, right? Like you have to now. So he's just like pissed about it.
The difference between
again, this is like in my opinion, like when you do a genre, like we're gonna make a genre movie, the genre of Uber driving. White Man Can't Jump isn't about basketball. You know what I'm saying? The basketball was the porn. It was about Jeopardy.
I never saw the movie.
It's about Jeopardy and how fucking easy it is. You just gotta study. You got nothing to do all day long. Study fucking.
Hey, if she can do it,
yeah. Hey, fucking Rosie Perez. Don't you fucking dare say anything about Rosie Perez.
Rosie Perez can get on Jeopardy. We can all get on Jeopardy. That's all I'm saying.
It's not about that. That is just your background. That just gives you the flavor. Yeah. If you want to do it in the rule of threes, there's got to be 3 different set pieces where something kooky happens in an Uber where people are going to be like, that happened with me too. Some guy picked me up in a fucking busted Toyota Previa.
Well, that's
and I remember he was doing. He had to walk around all the way around to open it up because the fucking door was closed or some weird shit happened.
And those are all the
wouldn't let us out because you said, "Fuck you." This place
stinks.
That
lead him to. Is he murdering people? Is this real? If he's murdering people,
I do think
he could make the mistake of doing the water first, and then that thing happens, and he's like, busted. Maybe I don't do that anymore. Then he does the Tic Tacs. No, but slowly he's like, and then maybe like the last few that he does or whatever, it's become this whole process where it's not like in the car. He like studies.
And he takes it out.
Well, you know what I mean? Or he knows where they live because he's picking them up at their house. So he takes all these notes, like, oh yeah, this person, and then he like asks them these questions. Because
maybe does he do something like he's doing a psychology thing? Like, if you
doing
don't mind,
totally.
Could I ask you a few questions?
Oh my god! And he starts asking them all these questions.
And I'm getting my doctorate and blah blah and so whatever.
Oh, and he's reading them, and he's like,
and maybe that's the thing. He's like saying that at the beginning, and because of his professionalism, we believe he's getting a doctorate. But at the end of it, it's too much. We're getting too plotty, but. He's not going for a doctorate. He's just trying to fuck with people's minds. So it's like The Vanishing with Kiefer Sutherland and fucking Jeff
Bridges,
where
Sandra Bullock.
Yes, Sandra Bullock, right? Where she's the one that gets taken.
Yeah.
Where he asks some general questions. Would you mind? It's the idea of what would a person do? What will a person not do because they're uncomfortable to sit
in that life situation?
In that life situation. Oh, I'm too uncomfortable to say I'm sorry. I'm afraid you're going to rape me, so I'm not going to come next to you. So I'll just come next to you. You know what I mean? But what's the next layer beyond that?
It's such a huge thing, though.
Yeah.
And I'm thinking, have you seen 1 Hour Photo?
Yes.
Robert Williams. I can picture like that aspect where he's like he's literally like doing the Tic Tac.
So it's not Nightcrawler. His inability to connect with humanity So he does this thing where you do connect with humanity in this forced way. You drive an Uber. You know, you're people take it for granted, but driving an Uber is pretty personal, man.
Yeah.
I do an Airbnb, and
That's personal as well.
you letting people into your house, and I see how people want to come in and they think they're in a fucking hotel. This isn't a fucking hotel. This is my house, and you're renting a room in it.
That's the disconnect between, especially with Uber and these Airbnb.
If you want a hotel, go get a fucking hotel.
Yeah.
Or if you want a hotel, rent out the whole fucking house. But you're coming here renting this and so. It's 10:30 at night. Shut the fuck up now. Yeah. Take a shower at a decent time. Do this, so and so, blah, blah. Yeah. If you wanted to party and be a kid, well, you got to let us know. Because that's not cool. You come to somebody's personal space. Yeah. Oh, but I want it because it's cheap. Well, congratulations, it's cheap. But that means you have to follow some rules.
Yeah.
People have been doing this before. They go to hostels.
Yeah. Yeah.
You don't get to...
It's not your fucking house.
It's not your fucking house.
Yeah, it's not your fucking car.
I've had to tell a few people. I'll grab you by the back of your fucking neck and throw you out. I don't give a shit about the law or blah or so. This is my fucking house.
Yeah.
You're on my team.
And you put that in most people.
Here's all your money back, and here's some extra money.
Yeah.
Just no bad feelings. But the motherfucker out of my house now. Yeah. This is my car. Yeah. I'm trying to make some money as I move along with my life. People that drive Uber aren't like, oh, they're rolling in money and they're just doing this because it's such a drive.
So many hours.
Obviously.
It's to get you to somewhere else. But inside of that, he is aware that people take this for granted.
It's just getting you places.
Let's take it out, I think.
So he sees it as an opportunity to play inside of that. What makes people really uncomfortable? How long will they live inside of uncomfortable?
So all
before
the
they just say, hey, brother, I just need a ride over here, dude. I really appreciate you.
That's really fucking good.
Hey, dude, I really appreciate you asking me all these questions. I understand this shit, but I am accustomed. There's a flip side to my attitude when I'm the owner. I'm not making noise. I got into your car respectfully. I got my fucking seatbelt on. I don't want water. I don't want this. I just want to get to where I'm going as per the predestined contract that we got going on, all right? So, head fucking straight. Yeah. 10 and 2. Keep your fucking hands at 10 and 2. Use your fucking turn signal. All right? So what's nice about a guy who, and I'm a bit of that guy, I like title dictates behavior. I like being appropriate. I'm here. You came to me. You asked for this, so let me be this. And a lot of times you don't get people that respect that contract.
Right.
So I like to pull people's cards every once in a while. Like, hey, my friend, oh, you came here to do this. But what about if when I come across the guy who is just as 10-2 as I am, and he flips it on me? I'm getting so used to paying $3.29 a gallon from getting used to paying $4.19 a couple of times that everybody's an idiot, though. But I've met the guy now. That is the guy that gets me to want to kill him. He's shown me that I actually might not know what the fuck I'm talking about, or I've taken too many liberties with my ideas of what's right and wrong. He's checked me. Is that the guy that starts him in on this? Is that the story that we go back from, which is why is he doing this in the first place? You know, we don't want to go to like a 8mm. Yeah. It's not because my mom didn't love me and my mom so he's just evil for being evil. It's kind of
I that's more realistic to me.
Yes.
It's just all the ticks. And then he's flipping the switch and then...
Yeah. Did you guys ever see God Bless America? God Bless America? It's the one where it's
smoking?
The guy and the girl?
Yeah, and they're like going to all like the talent shows and they're like murdering people, so they go to like American Idol and like those kind of shows.
The pageants,
like,
all that stuff.
And they like murder all like they're like going on this like crazy rampage. But it's like that kind of thing where he just snapped. He's watching these shows and he's seeing these like garbage people.
People are
they need to leave. They need to be off this earth.
Totally. And so like it's like a very like he goes over something has to push him over the edge. So he has all these incidents happen, and then title dictates behavior. Like he has all these things happen where he's like, I don't fucking deserve this. I don't.
Falling down.
Like totally. Man. Like I can't. Like and so he just snaps.
Yeah. And it could be something as petty as like, you know, he's cleaning his car and there's all this gum, like because you know it's like in the restaurant industry. I'm like, these are who goes into a beautiful restaurant and puts gum on your table, like. It doesn't make sense to me. It's petty.
People still do that?
They still fucking do that, dude. And we're a nice restaurant. Like, they still fucking do that.
I mean, I understand in the fucking 70s, 80s when I was a kid. And like,
ask for a napkin and fucking throw it away.
Yeah, what the fuck?
With this guy's car, again, the same. It's his personal space. Like,
weren't you a kid in like in the 2000s?
Was that?
Weren't you a kid in like the 2000s?
I was 180, bro.
They had restaurants back then?
No, like shitty steakhouse. Shitty steak. Invented? My father used to take me to shitty steakhouses, and I'd get a steak and eggs and blah, blah, and he'd go talk to this guy or whatever, blah, blah, blah. And yeah, there'd always be fucking 70, 50, 80, and nobody would clean them. It was kind of like you had to have. It's like peanuts on the ground at, one of those steakhouses. Roadhouses. But,
or the gum alley and so on.
What's the psychology of that mean? Back then, it meant like everybody's doing it, so it's no big deal. But when you're still finding one or two, or people are doing it now, when we're supposed to be more
laziness.
Or whatever,
it's laziness.
That's the thing.
And no respect.
That's the thing that pisses me off.
Yeah.
That's a tick.
Yeah. Is he's like
He just finds boogers
under his fucking
everywhere.
car? Yeah.
That would be a great.
Boogers all over the back of his seat.
That would be a,
10 and 2.
that would be a great long shot where you don't know what the fuck is happening until because he's at what's that place that's next to I don't think it's around anymore. Where is it? It's right next to Pink's. That deli. Anyways, a deli right next to Pink's. There's that long shot of him just at a table by himself in the middle of a shift, you know what I mean? And just that anger of this so and so, and he's got his hands kind of here, and you're not paying attention to his hands because he's just at a diner. And then as he does it, he starts speaking. He fucking throws his table. He's gonna fucking kill everybody now.
I can picture that now, and I think that. Yeah,
Just a
like that's
shot
gonna be
under
a
the
very
table.
like awesome
Just like
scene.
this crazy shot under the table.
You're pushing in on him. You're pushing in on him above the table, and then you see like, well, all right, he's just doing
Something's
something. What the fuck
happening,
is that?
something's
And then you go low. That's it.
Some boogers and fucking gum.
But it would make sense more if it was his car. But it's something that sets him off because the psychology. Who the fuck would put today? Like, why would you still do that? Like, you're embarrassed? Take gum out of your mouth and put it on the fucking napkin?
Or like people that like spit out the side of a car, and, like hits the side of your car.
Just a bunch of spit.
Like he's just like, dude.
So many
he
little
just goes
things,
to the
though.
back seat.
Dude.
And there's just like
What about the guy?
a diaper.
Is he fucking Jake Gyllenhaal, skinny, kind of weird, or do we make him a little interesting?
Or are we casting
a
him?
foreigner?
Now? Are we
Let's
casting
go
him?
into casting.
A foreigner that
let's
believes
cast
in
him.
America,
Okay.
that came here for this, and he's pissed off.
I think a
at
regular human, a regular American.
Regular
is-
American?
He's an American.
Yeah.
And
Because
he's-
I think like seeing that like because
He doesn't
everyone
want to
thinks foreigner, right?
stereotype.
Like I think just
I
starting.
don't want to stereotype.
Does one
Taxi
stereotype?
drivers.
Well, are we stereotyping or are
doesn't
we
wanna be like-
representing?
Well,
Or
let's
pretty
just
accurate.
cast that guy Ollie Nakvi as the taxi driver.
How many Ubers have you been in, and how many of them are clean cut
And how
from
many of them-
North Chicago, white boy, blonde hair, blue eyes? Like,
And
just
how many
fine.
of them have you been driving? No, I mean,
You don't drive a Prius. No, you don't drive a Prius.
no, we can.
No, I want to share. Just to share a beat, and then we could take this beat because logically, the movement that goes on nowadays is yes, anybody can play any fucking part. They always could play any part. Classical theater is represented by men playing women's parts and blah blah. Anybody can play fucking any part. It's dumb to think it has to be
It's
a
a
man. It has
character,
to be a woman.
yeah.
Yeah.
If you got the chops, you can.
I can play any fucking part. I'm an actor, and I'm fairly well trained. But are you going to believe me playing every fucking part? Well, no, you're not. I had a guy stay in our Airbnb. I made very good friends with him. He's from Iran, and I live very close to UCR, and UCR seems to be going after people that come from the Middle East.
I don't know what UCR is. Sorry.
Oh, UCR. I'm sorry. University of California, Riverside.
Okay.
They seem to accept a lot of students that are coming from the Middle East, particularly. It's a nice school. It's not crazy high end, but they're known for like biomechanical engineering and so on, computer related stuff. So there's a lot of Iranians that we've housed for months at a time. You know? This last guy, as an actor, I feel a little ashamed at times, but it's not in like a jerk kind of way. I kind of want to get their story. You know what I mean? I want to kind of siphon off a little bit. I just want to know what drives you, what motivates you about it. So with him, he was talking about how he's felt like things have been racist here since he got here. Not that they shouldn't be, but this guy's 6'1". He's tall, good looking, blue fucking eyes, whatever. He's a handsome dude. Who the fuck be racist towards you, man? You're a good looking guy. Tell him fuck off. And he's like, no, I got pulled over already once, and I wasn't doing anything. And of course, me being a good driver, I was like, you're not doing anything. You're a bad driver. He was like, no, I drove with him. He drives perfectly fine. But he was talking about that sense of how, for the most part, they think I'm either a good-looking Spanish or they think I'm Middle Eastern. But when he says Iranian, it goes to that. And I come from immigrants as well. I'm first generation. I can connect with that idea of what an immigrant thinks America is supposed to be, or rather it might be, all depending on whose perception, how they're navigating life in California, or rather America. I remember stopping by a gas station, and my cousin, who was in town, he was a foreigner as well. He got his papers just coming for a wedding, and we stopped in really late at night, 2 o'clock in the morning, grabbed something from Shell gas station in Orange County. And it's a Middle Eastern dude. You don't know exactly where from. And he speaks English pretty good. My cousin starts chatting him up because his English is broken the same way his, and blah, blah. He goes, so how long you been American? He's like 7 years. Like, what do you think? Good. America good. The people, they know fucking good. there's a beat inside of this place was supposed to be this. I thought
Yeah.
I was coming from like a third world country
Especially
to
right now.
some sense of professionalism, and like you guys are fucking work. It's still better to be here because there's
Yeah.
hope and opportunity and blah blah.
Yeah.
But you guys are ruining it. You're messing it up.
No, totally.
You're totally
Especially like today.
This time, yeah.
So there's an anger inside.
So
of
yeah,
that?
totally. No, there is, especially like for foreigners like that. That they never did anything wrong. They just came here
Yeah.
because they wanted
Trying to
something
get a better
better,
life.
Yeah.
or
Right.
like they wanted something better for their kids.
I
or they
agree
wanted-
with you. Don't let the bad guys in.
Yeah.
But I'm one of the good guys, and I'm following every rule. I'm going above and beyond the rule.
Yeah.
But you guys are still fucking it up. Like, what are you doing? Don't
So
do
that's
that.
his.
That's
vote
his-
for brown guy. As the,
The way we
he
can,
wants to cast.
the
Mark
way we can
Berishaj.
legitimize it is we get Riz Ahmed,
I love that guy.
and he can
who
be
was in
dark as
Nightcrawler.
shit.
Yeah. Oh,
who
yeah.
was in
the night of.
The Night of.
And he's a super nice guy.
He
man.
portrays
Came by
that
a
sense of
restaurant.
goodness, those big eyes,
Yeah.
those deep eyes. But at the same time, there's that manipulation of.
But he could
darkness
be
behind
super dark. Yeah, like that'd be great.
it. You mean like?
He's brown.
Oh, you're talking about brown.
He's brown.
We got
Like
No.
shade? Or
shade or depth.
No, it would
or-
be like no.
Hugh?
That would be great. Like having him turn and be the bad guy.
Wait, is he bad though?
Well, he's a bad guy in Venom.
Well, but
He's-
in this,
he's
okay,
a
he would
villain.
be the
So
bad
he's got
guy.
that, yeah.
Like, but you wouldn't expect it.
I
at the
think
beginning,
I think
you
he's
know?
a perfect cast for that.
Riz Ahmed is awesome. Yeah.
Done. Let's always cast taxi drivers brown. Always.
Riz Ahmed.
We're not changing anything.
We're not changing anything.
Continuing with
Tradition.
The
Well, I mean,
stereotype.
anything's in a film. My opinion is anything that's a problem means it's a solution. So if it's a problem to think that they're going to think this about the guy, we have a character introduce the idea of it's another. He's drunk with his girlfriend. Oh, fuck him. He's born. What would he know about it? Excuse me. I'm just trying to work it. He represents that if you're going to be racist or you think that is, just address it.
And there's the door.
And there's a door. Yeah. You know what? I'm not very comfortable with you guys in my cab. Are you ready for that bad review I'm going to give? Yes, I am. You guys have a nice day. He lets him out and he's classic. So
1 star.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So that's a moment for the
this.
audience to. So what's the thing? What's the
takeaway?
What's the save the cat? Why do we want to give a fuck to follow this guy? One, because he's Riz Ahmed. He's good looking to look at, and he's nice and sweet looking, big eyes and blah blah.
Please do
But
this movie.
Really, Riz.
Riz.
Come on.
Relax on Star Wars for 2 seconds. But what's the save the cat moment? What represents that this guy's a good guy? I want to follow him. Something like that might be nice. You know?
It could be like as small as he is one of the rare Uber drivers who I've never actually had in my history of Uber driving, where they'll walk out of the car and open the door. You know, like things like that.
Oh,
Like
yeah.
he's got
I've
that.
had that, but
There's
yeah,
no
no, he's
decencies.
good. He's like good at what he does. He's tentative. He
Professional.
In Collateral, that representation of that with Jamie Foxx was that when he got to work, he cleaned.
Yeah.
He didn't just get in
Totally.
the fuck car. He cleaned it. He's so he bought it.
Yeah,
You got a guy. This guy is present. He's here
he
to work.
respects the job. He puts the water. He does the thing,
Yes,
and
yes,
then
yes,
when
yes,
it turns, it's like
It's the same
I
dedication
fucking
he took.
gave him water.
Yeah.
I gave him Tic Tacs.
I give fucking Fiji water, dude. This isn't fucking
That ain't cheap.
presidential choice from Rouse. This is Fiji fucking water. I give Fiji. I give him flavor. I said, "Would you like some Crystal Light shot in that bad boy?"
I have a cooler, for God's sake.
I got a pina colada Crystal Light right here. Feel.
I love it. So we got. Yeah,
He
we
makes
got-
his own ice for the cooler.
Oh man,
What that's
Filtered.
actually good. Like he prepares the night before. Like
murder
deep
ice.
preparation.
Murder ice. Hydrochloric ice. That
No.
doesn't kill you until it melts.
Is
Well,
there gonna-
he uses. He melts this down into the ice just in case people have anxiety, like to subdue them a little bit.
Have you tried CBD?
I have not tried
Oils?
CBD. I mean, I'm not an anxiety kind of guy, but maybe
They,
it'll
they
just
are
make me
they
that
are
much more.
pretty instantly calming. Like it really is. There's a bar I went to, and you can for $5 you get like a few dabs of CBD in your beer or in any cocktail or any beer.
Had like a Jamba Juice.
Yeah. And
some
I tried it and it was just like you do feel like a.
I would do it, but it's like they overcharge. It's
It's-
$1.75 for guacamoles. I can get 10 guacamoles for $1.
Do you want to guac about it? All right, let's. So I think we're
yeah.
we're onto something good, but let's take a little quick sidestep.
Okay, yeah,
And-
let it sit with
Yeah,
us
let's
a
let it
bit.
sit.
Yeah,
'Cause
yeah, yeah.
we've uncovered a lot of.
We
good
figured
things.
out a lot about him. Let's figure out a little bit about
Yeah,
you.
he's brown.
Yeah, exactly.
Let's leave it at that. I'm an actor. I have been an actor for 7 years now. I've had the balls to call myself an actor for 7 years. I did something that I respect. I was not taught to be an actor. I was taught to be a a good solid employee. Which point didn't work out for this. Yeah, 10 and 2. I was taught to be at 10 and 2, and then I realized nobody's fucking driving the same way. So what the fuck am I doing?
Why am I doing this? Why am I following all these rules?
So I studied a bit in so-and-so. Like anybody else, I think there might be something worth... This life experience is worthy of saying a little something here and there. Who knows how much? But I'm trying, just like anybody else. I'm trying as best as I can not to be too lazy. Do it yourself. Make sure you study so you just don't come across, oh, I'm just a genius and special and you should pay attention to me. Like, try, put the work in and respect it.
Which is commendable, by the way, because there's a lot that I've met since I've been here in LA where the sense of entitlement, you know, whether the way they were born or how they're, whatever it is, not willing to put the work in.
There's a lot of, I'd like to say, so that I could sleep 8 hours, there's a lot of physical representations as to why I should be here to be an actor. A lot of things have been unsolicited advice and comments and so on. So it wasn't something I wanted to be. I didn't think of like being an actor or so and so, or play around with a camera or whatever. I don't take pictures of myself all day long. I was raised on TV like a lot of kids were, but something special about me, just learned a shit ton of things from TV, beats. I just learned a lot from it. And I'm trying to be an actor. I'm trying to be a storyteller to connect with that kid the same way as I am. That if there weren't TVs, if there weren't stories, if there weren't Saturday morning cartoons and morals and blah blah, I don't know. I don't know where I would be. I think I'd still be a decent person. I just wouldn't be too aware of what's going on. I'd still be an employee, hands at 10 and 2. Nobody could give two shits that I'm doing the job with, which they did. Because I've been acting for 7 years and it hasn't quite hit, you know. I'm a big fan of Taylor Sheridan. We were talking earlier before the show. That idea of, like that beat, that idea of a guy who probably respects it the same way. If you watch enough interviews, with all respect to him, you can't know 100%, but you get enough, you get an ideas. That I like the idea of not lying to yourself. You know, that's what it felt like with him. That he just felt like, you know what, this is the best I'm going to be at, and I didn't get into this business to be at this place, to live in a personal way, this place, or even professionally. So I'm going to do this part that I've respected as well. And he taught himself to write, and he taught himself story, and it was kind of organic because, like he has said, you know, I've read God knows how many scripts, and inside of those scripts, I learned what not to do when you write. So let me just not do that and write. I ultimately want to be a storyteller. I want to have some opinion on what's going on and respond. I want to take responsibility for it as well. So I'm trying to teach myself as well. You know?
I mean, there's so much storytelling in just acting too. Like even when just as an actor, I think you interpret the script a different way than the writer did, than the director did, than the DP is going to, than the producer will. You know,
Ethan,
you're going to take the ownership of this character, you know, and tell a story in a different way than anyone else.
Yes, Ethan Hawke was just in a Film Society of Lincoln Center video that he posted about how. He said, something that I hate is how every film school will say it's a visual medium. And it is a visual medium. But, and he goes, hopefully this doesn't get a laugh. When you really sit down and think about the greatest storytellers that have existed in our time and so, Charlie Chaplin's and so, these guys are actors. More so than they're just a director who shows up that wants to tell a story. So, yes, it's a visual medium, but you have to act it out. Again, maybe because I come from first generation, but I have the mentality of an immigrant to a degree as well, like knowing what shit tastes like. You know what I'm saying? If when the revolution comes, can you still be an actor? Can you stand on a fucking stage and tell a story and so on? So that's what you have to be at the very worst of what an actor should be.
Like while World War III is happening, are we still going to be acting?
Well, if Riz Ahmed is around, then you know he's getting every job. The revolution comes, you know, the digital age goes to shit, or somebody drops an EMP, whatever it is. Can you still be the thing that you want, or can you only be it if the fucking Kardashians are around, or if if your phone gets 4K video? You know what I mean? Can you be what you want as a human being here right now? Nothing special going on. Can you be the thing that you're interested in? And I think you have to be able to be a storyteller. I don't think you can't just be an actor. Yeah. Tell me what to say.
Especially today, like I mean, actors have to do everything. They have to like be able to edit their own reels now.
Oh, it would behoove you to be able to.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
No, but it's part of it.
Is it almost a disrespect to say behoove you to be able to? I'm like, if you can't do that, then maybe you shouldn't come from Omaha, Nebraska to try to be an actor. Don't come. We don't.
If you're gonna make that big leap, like go all in.
Yeah.
Right.
Have a good motivational reason to.
Yeah.
You know, just be yourself.
Yeah.
Learn it.
Do you feel that in this day and age? Because my personal thoughts, but like the Insta famous, you know, like is that something you think that people are coming here to LA for that?
I can say not firsthand like me, but cousins and so on, people that I know because I was born in Detroit, but I was raised in California. I'm more of a Californian than a Michigander. But Michigan, I don't know if you guys have ever noticed it, like a lot of people in the business are from Michigan. There's something unique about Michigan. It's like the highest end mediocre state. There's really high highs and low lows, and there's solid middles. But it affords people the opportunity to fuck off to California for a bit and see what it's all about or so-and-so. So yeah, I've had those questions from cousins to be like, yeah, I just feel like I'd get more hits. They've used that term. I'd get more likes if I was taking pictures in California on fucking 3rd Street Promenade and blah, blah, and so-and-so.
Sure.
Born in 1980, knowing the best of both, or not to be too highfalutin with that, but like that sounds like fucking madness to have that vocabulary. To me, it sounds like madness. Who knows where we'll go? It's interesting times to pay attention to those times. Very, very interesting times. I hope it works out for them. Not to be pessimistic, just to be, and not to be a realist, just based on fact, based on history. Yeah. Things don't tend to work out the way you want, dude. So you're taking a big gamble with your life to do this. When you've heard things unsolicited, or you're doing things based on whatever somebody else has, you're doing things based on the finish line as opposed to the journey. That's pretty scary, brother. And I tend to feel a lot for people that come from other places to live in Los Angeles. When I ask them, just again that emotional vampire as an actor, I am like trying to get their story. Where you come from? What motivates you? Nothing motivated them whatsoever. They just the TV. They don't have a cousin over here. They'll find some place to stay when they come over here. Like, dude, that's not the time anymore, babe. Yeah. That's not a healthy thing to do, man. It's already hard enough to put yourself through like life, let alone in your 20s.
Yeah, no.
You're trying to grasp.
You're struggling and you're like trying to make it.
And again, today, as Ali has talked, we've talked about a bunch of times. There's no reason to do that anymore because it's just too easy. These aren't too expensive. Go on B&H, wait for a deal.
Wait for a deal. Wait for like not a holiday.
Wait for not a holiday. Book them before. It's not that hard. It's not hard. You how long ago was in your guys' neck of the woods? How long ago did Robert Rodriguez with a VHS? 50-pound VHS camera, and he did it. Like there's no. I get why people say there's no excuse anymore. That could be like too hard for a kid to hear from somebody. There's no excuse for you to be lazy.
But
there is.
It doesn't sound like you want to do it, in all honesty. It sounds like you want it given to you.
Yeah, totally. Or you don't want to do the work. You don't want to grind. And there's going to be years of struggle. There's going to be thousands of people you don't want to work with that you're going to have to like deal with on a daily.
We're not names.
In any
you're not a Deschanel.
Totally.
I'm not a.
We're not related to anybody. We're, we got to make our own. We got to crack our own break in our own way. So
I came from people that were very good employees. I'm a pretty fucking good employee. Unfortunately, my parents didn't figure out that you're probably going to be tired and hurt from it. It's like, so go find a boss that you love that's going to realize that you're a good employee. They didn't know that.
Good. Well, you're saying good points and true points. It's the facts. It's where it's at.
What's the plug? Is I'm trying to be a writer, an actor, slash writer. Yeah,
you're killing it, man.
Well, thank you. I can tell you're a storyteller at heart. Right.
Thank you very much.
Yeah, of course.
Thank you very much.
I think it's just time. The 10 and 2. You should go to 3 and 6.
Just try different things.
It probably is. But that's my narrative, right? Even if I only get one.
Just go noon. Or midnight, depending on noon.
Where?
Noon or midnight.
What part?
Noon and midnight.
What part of the world? Because it's different.
Have you ever drove like this?
Like I am. There's the thing. Who says I'm not driving 10 and 2? In Japan.
It's 10 and 2 somewhere. All right. Anyway,
good stuff. I think we have a good basis for this.
We just need to call Riz and make sure that he's in.
Yeah, and then somebody call Riz.
We'll develop it.
You got a lot of people.
Are you calling Riz? All of these people.
All these people.
His live studio.
Somebody call Riz, guys. Serious. My phone.
Who's calling
Somebody
Riz?
Come grab it.
Are you
guys one of your 25 people back to come and grab it?
This is good stuff. Any last words?
What are you guys gonna do?
Here, take a TikTok.
Oh shit!
This is regular water.
Dude, I'm having a lot of anxiety right now. Last words?
Any aspiring actors?
To any aspiring? Oh shit! I'm nobody to fucking tell. I'm somebody to tell somebody who's thinking about being an actor. Go drop $200,000 and go to Juilliard. Go to Yale Drama School. Go to Lambda. Go to RADA. Don't fuck around with shitty little bullshit schools here and there. Go gamble on yourself. Go get into that $200,000 fucking dollars if you're not a name. Because at the end of Juilliard, you're going to be putting up plays where agents are going to come and see who the hell's the bad motherfucker coming out of Juilliard. That's where Oscar Isaacs and Jessica Chastain's and blah blah's come out of. Not down the street that so-and-so blah blah name who was doing a watered-down version of Meisner technique or whatever the hell. Go and fucking gamble on yourself. Take a big gamble.
Take a gamble. I like that.
Yeah.
Stop
Gamble.
living in 10 and 2.
But not in Vegas. Gamble, but not in Vegas.
Stop.
All right, guys. Well, that's,
I mean, unless you're really good at it, or you know somebody, or you know the odds really well, then go gamble, I guess.
Yeah, if you get that insider trade, fucking take it.
Then
Screw
take
that.
it, yeah.
And if you do get anxious, though, go to SundayScaries.com. Promo code WBP10.
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 Writers Block Party.
Yeah, right, back on, yeah.
You have Instagram? Are you on?
I do not. I only believe in Facebook.
Yeah.
I don't know why people do the other things. Facebook does all of the things.
It does. It does all.
And those other things just do the one thing. I don't understand. And anyways, Facebook is Instagram. They bought them up.
That's true.
Yeah.
Because my Instagram's on there.
Yeah.
Cool. Well, any questions? Check out more episodes at writersblockparty.com, PRTY. Writersblockparty.com, PRTY. Coming at you.
Thanks, guys.
Check, huh?
Thank you for being on the
Thanks,
show.
Marty.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.
You know,
Sir?
but we will. We'll do it.
I don't want to let go.
Thank you.
Yeah,
Wait, let's do a 10 and 2 shake.
Wait.
It's a 10 and 2 show.
Oh, no.
What the fuck is that? What is a 10 and 2?
Oh,
show?
there
10
you
and
go.
2.
This is
10
getting
and 2. It's coming at
We're
you.
cutting this. This is
Kickstarter.
getting cut.
Watch your
I'm
Kickstarter.
not using that.
And cut.